right, welcome to the video for page 3 of lesson 1.2 for Math 1. And we are doing order of operations, continuing from the previous page. So you should be pausing the video, working the problem, and then unpausing to see the answer. So hopefully you have number 9 worked already. I will go ahead and continue on it. So this is, we're going to start with our parentheses. And I'm going to go ahead and write PEMDAS over on the side just as a reminder. That's the process we're using. So we do 7 plus 5, which gives us a 12, and then we bring everything else down. And that is the division symbol here. So as we look at our next step, division will be next. It comes before addition. So we'll do 12 divided by 3, which gives us a 4. Bring down the 2 plus, and then we'll add those and get 6. For the next problem here, looking at this, there is multiplication going on here, which comes before those additions. So I'm going to bring 4 plus, and then this 4 times 4 becomes 16, and then a plus 6. Remember, so we're bringing everything down we didn't touch, and what we're changing, we're bringing right down below it. So I think this is the best way to track your work. I try not to go sideways with stuff, and I try not to do calculations in here. So sometimes I'll have, like if you did a 4 plus 16, and if you wanted to do 16 plus 4 over to the side, you know, that's 10, carry the 1, that's a 20, and then I would put the 20 in. But I wouldn't show this in this stuff here. I'd do that off to the side. And then 20 plus 6 is 26. It's much easier to follow and to see what you did in each step. And as problems become more complex, it's going to be even more important to have all those pieces showing. All right, we'll go to the next one. So for this one here, we have 3 plus 5 plus 6 times 3. And so we're going to do the multiplication first. The 6 times 3 is 18. And then I'm going to bring the rest down. And now it's just addition. 3 plus 5 is 8. And 8 plus 18 is 26. And that winds up being our answer. For this next one here, so we have a lot of parentheses here, but nothing to do in these parentheses, just like the previous one. There was nothing to do inside of it. So that parentheses step isn't a step for us because there's nothing to simplify. So no exponents, we go to multiplication. 5 times 2 is 10, and 2 times 4 is 8. We'll keep the plus in between, and then we'll add those together to get 18. All right, let's take a look at this here. We have 5 plus 3 times 2 divided by 6, and the 3 times 2 is in parentheses. So we need to do this first. That becomes 6. Bring everything down, the 5, the plus, and the divided by 6. You could leave the parentheses on here if you wanted. It doesn't absolutely have to be since you have operators on either side. But 6 divided by 6 is 1. And so we'll have 5 plus 1, which is 6. And then for our last of these, once again, we'll start inside the parentheses. 6 minus 3 is 3. I'm going to leave that in the parentheses because we have that squared, and that 6 stays out front. So if I didn't put the parentheses there, it would almost look like 63 squared, right? So here, keeping that parentheses is really important because there's no operator written here. There's not a multiplication symbol or anything like that. So that's when you really have to keep your parentheses. You can always keep them, and it'll be fine, but there are times if you don't keep it, you're gonna run into some issues. All right, what comes next? Exponents. So what does 3 squared mean? 3 squared is 3 times 3, right? Just a reminder. So I'm going to do this off to the side, and 3 times 3 is 9. So I'm just going to put a 9, and once again, I'm going to keep it in parentheses so I know that this is multiplication. And then we'll do the 6 times 9, and that'll give us our 54. All right, so that's the answer for that problem. And then the last one on this one, we're going to take a look at a word problem. Ethan bought 4 peaches for 75 cents each and 2 ears of corn for 80 cents each. Write and evaluate a numerical expression to represent the situation. So we're going to create our own expression that we're going to then simplify. So we have 4 peaches, and they're for 75 cents. Now we have a choice. We can do this in pennies, or we can do this in dollars. So let me erase the 4 here. So if we do this in pennies, it's going to be 4 times 75 pennies, right? Plus, we have 2 ears of corn for 80 cents each. So it'd be 2 times 80. And that would be our expression. But if we want to do it in dollars, it would be 4, and then now this would be 0.75, and this would be 0.80. And so you could do this either way. Just understand this answer is going to be in pennies, and this answer is going to be in dollars. All right, so for this, 4 times 75, and I am using a calculator on this, that gives me 300. And then the 2 times 80 gives me 160, because we're doing the multiplication first, and then we'll do the addition, which is 460 cents. I'll put like the cents mark, right? That's 460 pennies. Well, we probably want to convert that to dollars. So that's $4.60. Now, since we converted this to dollars ahead of time, we don't have to do the conversion at the end. So 4 times 75 cents is 3. And 2 times 80, 0.8, sorry, 2 times 0.8 is 1.6. I'm going to keep 2 decimals because we're talking about money. And sorry about that, let me leave that up. There we go. I apologize, you couldn't see the 460 when I wrote it. And then when we add this, the 3 gets added to the 1. So when we do our addition, we line everything up. So there's your 460. So you could do it either way. You could either do it as pennies and then change it to dollars when you're done, or you could do it, change it to dollars right away, and then you don't have to do that conversion. But saying something's 460 pennies, I don't think that doesn't make sense. We don't talk about large amounts of pennies like that when we're talking about how much something costs. If something's $10, we don't say that's 1,000 pennies. Once you get over 100 pennies, right? Then we start talking dollars and pennies, and so this 4.6 or $4.60. This is really the proper way to talk about it. All right, that ends the video for page 3. Go and continue on to page 4.